Hey guys, it's Colin from TTADV. Today we're doing something a little different. I'm going to be showing you how to use Garmin Basecamp in a couple different levels. One is just the bare bones, basic, how to take the GPX files that you may find on someone's website or somebody may send to you, and how to get that onto your GPS in a way that you can actually use and follow. The other thing we're going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you how to take the GPX tracks that your GPS records while you're riding and export that to share with other people. So let's get started. So this is Garmin Basecamp. I've got it kind of toned down to its lowest settings. Now, maps and figuring out how to get maps on this is an entirely different thing. For the most part, you have to purchase them. There is something called openstreetmaps.org that you can download free maps and import it into Basecamp. The quality is kind of dependent on who is contributing in that area. So in Nova Scotia, the detail in terms of trails is relatively low. But if you're somewhere like Ontario or the United States, things may be much, much better. You can adjust your quality of the map here. You can see there's quite a difference between the highest and the lowest settings. I like to keep it somewhere in the middle. As you can see over here, we have your collection. So when you start out, this is going to be very empty, essentially. There's not going to be any folders, there's not going to be any files. And then you can start adding, right click, and you can add new list folders, new lists, and then you can start adding things to the folders and the lists like GPX tracks and routes and points of interest. As far as your tools go, you have a measuring tool, which is really effective if you're trying to figure out, well, how far from the road is this actually? And it's fairly accurate. You got your point of interest dropper, and then you can choose which list you want to add it to. And then you have your route creator and your track creator. So tracks, you just, well, keeps wanting to, and then you just essentially click and create your track. I wouldn't recommend doing it. It's doesn't make for very good navigating. It's easier to download one or have a friend send you one after they've ridden it. So, if you're not familiar, we routinely add GPX tracks to our video. When we add GPX tracks to our videos, we put them in the Trail Trash Tracks playlist. So that way you know when you're watching it that there's an associated GPX track that you can download. So it's going to be the same kind of format for every one of these videos. I'm going to select this one just because it's the most recent. If you go down to this description, show more, there is a Google Maps download link right here. You just click on it. It's going to take you to the map. Okay. You're going to select which one you want, essentially. If you click on it, you'll see the associated video, and then click and it'll take you to a Google Drive download link. Just hit download. That's going to go to the downloads folder. So we're just going to move it to the desktop just to make life a little easier for us. Close those out. Open up Basecamp again. File, and then import. And select your GPX file. And it'll pop in just like that. And then you can view it. Okay. Then when it comes time to export to your device, you plug your device in. There we go. Essentially, all you have to do to get the track into the GPS is you can either right click and select send to, and then you can select your GPS, or you can just drag and drop. And you get a little green check mark when it's done transferring, and then you can just unplug it and you are good to go. When you pull it up on your GPS, there's a substantial difference between routes and tracks in terms of how they determine routing. So if you route something like this, you create a route. Sometimes the trails on the map won't actually get used. It'll bypass them because it doesn't consider them a road or doesn't consider them navigatable. And that's just a mapping software issue. So what you want to do is you want to go into your GPS, you want to select the track, and then you want to select show on map. And that way you can just have it on the map. You can see it. It's not going to constantly try and reroute you if you miss a turn. You're just going to see yourself go by it or see yourself stay on it. Keeping tracks is really the best way to navigate off-road on an adventure dual sport motorcycle. So that's kind of the bare bones basic what you need to know to get started. Now we'll get into how to edit and share your own adventures. Okay, so in terms of sharing the rides you go on, the first thing you got to do, open up Basecamp. Basecamp's opened, the GPS unit is plugged in, right? You'll see it pop up here. You're going to want to go to your internal storage and scroll down. If you have a bunch of points of interest and stuff like I do, you might scroll down a bit, and it will have automatically saved tracks based on date. So for instance, I've got one here from November 2020. Oops. If you want to edit that track, double click on it. If you want to share a specific section, because often you'll take a wrong turn or you'll only want to show a certain section of it with people, you can click on it where you want to start. It'll give you the point. See how it kind of highlighted that there, 2025. You can hold shift and scroll down or up, depending on what direction you want to go. And you'll see how it starts to turn orange. That's how you know what you've selected. So for example, if I wanted to share just this little section here, I would right click, copy. Okay. So you've selected the section you want, you've right clicked, you've copied all the points, okay? Close out of that track, create a new track, just 2 arbitrary points kind of off away from where your area is. So let's just say right there. So it's created a new track. You're going to want to then click on the name to open it. It'll also show up down here. Open it. And then right click and paste. So you'll see the track that you had selected earlier has showed up, right, as you've imported all those data points, but you still have 2 points from where you created the new track. So all you have to do is click once, hold left control, click again, oops, there we go, or shift or control will select both points and then just delete them. And bam, you've got your track separated from the main track that your GPS created. You can rename it Trail Trash Test. You can make the color different. Sometimes there's a ton of points and you can go in and reduce the number of points there are. And automatic, and then right in the middle usually does a really good job of keeping things accurate, but not overloading the GPS with all of this data, because sometimes a ton of data points can slow your GPS down depending on what model you have. I have one of the older models, so I try and keep the points to a minimum because it does get bogged down with all the data. So automatic, you see it kind of dropped a number of points there. So instead of being like 200, it's now 39. So we've got our Trail Trash Test track. So when it comes time to share it, you select it, go to File, and you're going to export selection, and then you can put it on desktop. I put it in OneDrive under my GPS tracks, and then I'll export that to Google Drive for you guys to see. But yeah, guys, that's really what you need to know and want to know about Garmin Basecamp to both take on other people's adventures that they've shared with you and to share your adventures with other people. If you have any questions, shoot us an email, message us on Instagram, Facebook, leave a comment. We'll get back to you as quickly as possible. I'm a shift worker, so sometimes my response times are hit and miss, so I apologize, but I'll always get back to you eventually. I've been calling from Trail Trash ADV, and I hope you found this helpful. Have a great day.